Okay. Well, turn 2 Behold the Multiverse. Hope we play in a control mirror. Well, turn 2 Foretell Behold the Multiverse, rather. Into turn 3. Behold. If we're not playing a control mirror, though, this hand doesn't really do anything. And that'll be a little bit scary. It's so much easier to play Is It in open deck list formats as a result. It's a deck that has such specific answers and needs such very specific answers in different games that knowing whether you need your anti-control cards or your anti-aggro cards helps so much. Okay, playing against dragons. That makes this hand pretty sketchy. Rather incredibly sketchy, actually. They've named red with everything so far, but looks like they're either a Boros or a Jeskai version. So we hope for no Townraiser Tyrant. That's really the only scary 4-drop dragon. I don't think they would hesitate to play it in this situation. Nope, they have it. Okay. Neither of these cards lets us cast Unexpected Windfall next turn, so to the bottom they go. These cards do help us cast Unexpected Windfall, so that's at least an improvement. Alright, still no answers to Townraiser Tyrant. Decline to sacrifice our coast. Draw the Divide a turn late. Okay. Well. It'll be fine. How scary could things get? Townraiser Tyrant attacks. Oh, I should change the record. An orb, that's fine. Alright, no threats from the opponent is nice to see. Meathook Massacre is nice to have. I don't think I want to play it this turn, but it's nice to have. Decline to lose our lands. We draw lands. We play lands. Lier in this spot isn't very good. Opponent can Dragonfire it and has the mana to do so. Opponent considering cracking orbs to try to find action. We love that. Opponent doesn't crack orbs to find action. I'm not upset by that either. Ideally, the opponent just plays a bunch of 4/4 dragons here. Could divide by 0 the Townraiser Tyrant to prevent 4 damage and set another land burning. I'm not really willing to do that. Alright. And all of this. Not having found any removal for Townraiser Tyrant directly is a problem, because now if I Meathook Massacre, I'm not holding up Divide by 0. And I still have to answer the Townraiser Tyrant anyway, annoyingly haven't actually used the Stormcarved Coast for anything yet. No real way around it. Have to answer the Townraiser Tyrant here. It really just doesn't put me in a very good position, does it? No removal spells to be found. Means I gotta use a really expensive one. Would have been real polite if the opponent played any of the threats that were answerable by Divide by 0 instead of the one threat that isn't. Or maybe I should have divided by 0 the Townraiser Tyrant earlier to prevent some damage and just accepted losing an additional land? Could be the case. In an ideal world, our opponent attempts to play their 7-drop Hasty Dragon next turn. And we just get to Jwari Disruption it. No, they find Goldspan Dragon, and that probably means they keep the Orb of Dragonkind. We'll see if they successfully remember to activate the orb before playing the Goldspan Dragon. It's an easy trap to fall into, but it looks like the opponent does know how to play around it. Maybe. Maybe. Come on, opponent, let auto hurt you. One time. No. Opponent chooses to untap their land. Goldspan Dragon puts us to 3. I have to assume the opponent has Spikefield Hazard, which annoys me. Fearsome Whelp is also a good reason not to go to 1 life. Alright, we go to our turn. We sacrifice the Stormcarved Coast. Abrade. Well, that answers Fearsome Whelp at least. Do I play Lier here? I don't think I can. I'm 1 mana off bouncing Meathook and recasting it, which is a bummer. Although I can Galvanic Divide next turn to bounce Goldspan and Meathook. Then they just don't play the Goldspan, which doesn't really help me. Or I Galvanic, bounce, Inferno, and Goldspan. Timing on this was wrong. Was supposed to do it at the beginning of combat so they couldn't float mana and then cast something with Goldspan. Letting the Inferno resolve doesn't really matter. I think I can Environmental Sciences, because going to 5 life here is meaningful. Mascot Exhibition gives us a blocker. Okay, now I have to consider if I want to sack a treasure to Abrade the Fearsome Whelp. The result is that they don't get a discount on any of their dragons. How many tries so far? This is the second. The downside of Abrading the Fearsome Whelp is that I can't play Lier holding up a counter spell then. They play Dragon. Doesn't really matter. If I don't Abrade the Whelp, they can play Goldspan Dragon into Inferno. I guess, no. I could Lier and then divide by 0 the Goldspan, technically. But I think I still need to Abrade the Fearsome Whelp, probably. So this means they can't Goldspan into Inferno, right? Because it didn't get a cost discount? Oh, and we did draw the untap land anyway. What's the white for in a Dragon's deck? Usually they splash some multicolored dragon threats, and also, to beat more aggressive decks, play the 3-mana board wipe. But they don't do that if they're playing Orb of Dragonkind, typically, because it hits Orb of Dragonkind. Okay, so we get to play Lier to hold up Divide by 0. Because the opponent didn't use the orb, they don't have Dragonfire right now. And we hope they don't have Dragonfire on their turn, because that will complicate things. They would to Dragonfire Lier and then play Goldspan. If they don't have an untapped land, that means I get to Jwari Disruption Goldspan, but I still probably lose in the long run to Inferno. Alright, well, we divide by 0. Leaves our position against the Inferno kind of awkward next turn. And they got the Dragonfire. Yeah, that complicates things a lot. I think I gotta get rid of Jwari Disruption. Okay, Sorin's actually pretty decent here, I think. So I get to Environmental Sciences for a land. I get to play Sorin, and I get to foretell Behold the Multiverse. Sorin gives us a couple of turns worth of chump blockers. If I hit a land drop, I get to Galvanic into double Mascot Exhibition next turn. I could just have a Dragonfire for the Sorin, I suppose. Velomachus into Dragonfire would be bad. Velomachus into Whiff is not bad. I gotta play around Spikefield Hazard, I think. We hit the untapped land, which I think means that Galvanic into Mascot is probably our play here.
You fight for me now.
We have a lot of blockers, we have a lot of attackers, and there's a Meathook Massacre in play. I think we might have done this. I think we might have actually somehow won this game, which I was not expecting. So let's see. Never mind. Okay, I guess I just die. Well, that was the hit they needed, wasn't it? Sure. One-sided Wrath of God is a good hit off of your free attacker. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. And it had to be in exactly that order, too. Because if it was in hand, we could at least still try to stabilize, even if we were behind. But playing Goldspan means they had lethal. I wonder if I'm supposed to try to play around that by Galvanicing Behold and just trying to find removal spells, but I don't know if I have enough removal spells for that to be correct. They did miss on the first attack. That's true. That's true. They don't have a wildly huge number of hits for Velomachus, so whiffing isn't just super uncommon. Alright, we want Disdainful Strokes, we want Hullbreaker, we want Infernal Grasp. We've debated Meathook in the past. We've debated cutting Fading Hope before eventually deciding that we just couldn't. Sorin, we can cut. Are we allowed to cut A-Alrund's Epiphany against them? Do we need to? Yeah, their deck, if they have a ramp spell into turn 3 Townraiser Tyrant, is like instantly 300% better. If they don't Townraiser Tyrant on turn 3, then their life gets really hard. I think I'm trimming an A-Alrund's Epiphany and a Galvanic Iteration. And then probably Behold the Multiverse. I think that's the setup. Guess they don't care about Purge removing that artifact? Yeah, I suppose it's not the biggest disadvantage in the world, in that the matchups where you care about Purge, you don't care about the artifact as much. This is unfortunately a mulligan. This is keepable. Quite keepable, actually. How are we getting rid of this? I would love this hand if it was a 7. I guess I have to get rid of Divide by Zero. Behold the Multiverse is not that exciting against dragons because we can't actually foretell it on turn 2. And then I get punished by my opponent having an orb anyway. Alright, well, life is sad. We have Divide by Zero for Town Razor Tyrant. But opponent plays another orb. Okay. Life continues to be sad, but we're making land drops, and that's an exciting start. I wonder if I should have foretold Behold the Multiverse here. Odds are I'm going to Infernal Grasp whatever they play. I'd be sad if they played a Town Razor Tyrant and I didn't have Divide by Zero, though. But that's still a wicked bad use of my mana. So the way they played this, they have a Test of Talents, huh? That's miserable. Well, I can't really do anything about that. Double ramp spell into Test of Talents back up on Town Razor Tyrant is sort of completely disgusting. I'm wishing that I had foretold Behold the Multiverse and tried to Infernal Grasp as Town Razor Tyrant and then got Infernal Grasp, Test of Talents. But instead, the best thing that I can do is get Divide by Zero, Test of Talents, and then Infernal Grasp with Town Razor Tyrant. Yep. Dragon's decks with the worst case scenario curve out. Huh? I had the removal spell for anything other than multiple orbs of Dragonkind. Divide by Zero's gone. Land in pain. Decline and take some damage. Well, Fading Hope is interesting. That means I can actually Behold the Multiverse instead of using a removal spell instantly if I want to. But no, I don't think I'm supposed to do that. I think I need to prevent taking extra damage right now. And hopefully the opponent just plays some big haste dragon here while I'm tapped out of Infernal Grasp. Thoughts on baiting Test of Talents by casting Behold first. I didn't want to get Behold hit by Test of Talents. It was better for me to get it hit by, or get the Divide by Zero hit. I need the card advantage from Behold the Multiverse too much. Alright, Discover the Formula is fine if it actually winds up resolving. I guess not holding up double red here kind of might have been a mistake, but I don't have anything to discard Unexpected Windfall having drawn Discover the Formula. But I might have drawn Unexpected Windfall plus like a bad spell, so tapping the red source was an error, regardless. More blue sources, sure. So now the opponent knows about Infernal Grasp. Apparently doesn't care. Just wants it out of my hand. Very well. I think I'm casting Discover the Formula on my upkeep and then sacking the land, which I feel pretty bad about. But I think I'm supposed to value my life total now. Would be nice to find Disdainful Strokes, since that's a good card. We don't. I'm pretty sure I board in 3 of those, but I can't actually sacrifice the lands now. Everything's 2 mana intense. Jeez. Well, that was awful. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. What are we doing? How do we avoid dying to Den of the Bugbear? Kind of have to Unexpected Windfall and sack the land. No real way around that. The Disdainful Stroke at long last, far too late to matter. One of these days we're going to have some of these Disdainful Strokes in the opening hand against dragons, and actually get to counter a 4-drop with it. Have to sack the land. Have to hit a removal spell. Fail to hit a removal spell. So if we bounce the Inferno... I guess Lier plus Fading Hope does work since we hit that untap land. I can Fading Hope the Inferno and the Den for attacks. Just barely. Alright, there's something resembling a chance here. Still dead to Test of Talents, I think. Alright, there's the Den. I guess I'm not quite dead to Test of Talents because I can block the Den with Lier. Wait, doesn't that mean I'm supposed to let them attack with the Den? Yeah, I think so. I don't think I care too much about this 1/1 versus denying them additional mana. I mean, they play the Fearsome well, sure. And that makes me not have Infernal Grasp, which I guess isn't an answer to Inferno, but eh. Alright, Inferno gets cheaper. Discover the Formula is not good enough. I wish I could play a land drop into A-Alrund's Epiphany. Can I? If I Unexpected Windfall, yes. I think I've got to take that gamble. Okay. So we get to play the untap land. We get to Epiphany. like to draw a Spikefield Hazard. Or a Sorin, but I think we cut those. Fading Hope. That's something. Okay. This looks like there's a chance. Fearsome Whelp can put us to 1. Moonveil Regent. That'll be awkward when that dies, huh? Okay. Sure. And what else? That's true. Also got the Divide by Zero. Alright, block the 1/1. I actually have to be careful about going to 1, because it gives them the ability to Dragonfire their Moonveil Regent to kill me. Which means I have to answer the Fearsome Whelp. Well, that's a cute way to try to do 1 damage. Oh, they really messed up. They should have done that sacking the Moonveil Regent, I think. Sure, do you want to discard your hand, opponent? So if I divide by 0 that, they can sack the Moonveil Regent. I'm probably supposed to divide by 0 that, I think. But that doesn't give me a lot of good things to do with my mana. I kind of think I need to draw cards. But in that case, I'm not divide by 0ing it. I could just Fading Hope the Whelp. But being at 1 is pretty risky against Moonveil Regent. I guess I can just bounce the Moonveil Regent? No, Spikefield Hazard's still a problem. Alright. Dividing the Kazul's Fury it is. No, this was terrible. Let's him just replay the Moonveil Regent and then sack it to Kazul's Fury, and now I don't have a divide by 0 to answer it. Alright, Environmental Sciences it is. Fading Hope the Fearsome Whelp. Untap land is good. Still, this is probably fine. We make some more treasure, we draw some more cards. We're going to gain some life with Environmental Sciences. If needs be, I can Fading Hope the Moonveil Regent, and then Fading Hope my Lier, and Disdainful Strike the Moonveil Regent on the way back down. And it does look like that's probably going to have to be the case. We do gain a lot of life. That's good. That's good. I think we're still in a fine spot because of the life we just gained. Fearsome Whelp, sure. Into what? Mourn opponent. Into Inferno, sure. Well, that's Infernal Graspable. I would like to discard some cards that don't do anything to try to find cards that do things. Sweet. Meathook Massacre is a good draw. We will attack with Lier first. Hope they don't block. I don't think they'll block, but I really need them to not block. Because I actually need that Fearsome Whelp to die so that I go above on life points here. Okay, wait. No, this doesn't actually, because they do 4 damage by sacking Moonveil Regent. No, because Meathook Massacre means I gain 1 life when they sack Moonveil Regent. Okay. Should be safe to let the Moonveil Regent resolve then, I think. But either way, I can discover the formula in response. Oh, all my treasures. That's rude. Alright. You have successfully exiled your orb opponent. What's your plan next? Moonveil Regent? Sure. So that gets them very nearly to the point where they can kill me, but not quite. Alright, well, we get to Spikefield and then Abrade the Moonveil Regent. That seems pretty clean. I don't gain a life, but they don't do a point of damage to me, so, you know. 'Tis all the same thing, more or less. Alright, opponent, try to kill me. There is a Moonveil Regent. Same as before, that's not enough to kill me. I guess if they Spikefield it first... No, that's still not enough to kill me. Because then it loses the death trigger. That is how all this works. We've been over that before. Alright. Discover the formula. Hey! Hullbreaker Horror! Gale Moonveil Regent. Gale Moonveil Regent. Play Behold the Multiverse? No, hold up. Protection for Lier. Okay. Play a Hullbreaker Horror. Cast... I don't know, something? Nah, I don't have enough mana to do anything. Alright, we wait. Discard a land. Why not cast the Horror in hand last turn? Did I have enough mana to do that? Might have been a good idea if I had enough mana to do that. Alrighty, bounce the Moonveil Regent. Not interested in taking damage currently. Test of Talents. Oh no! But, I mean, that doesn't counter the part where my opponent's dragon gets bounced, so I'm okay with it. Also, it doesn't do anything. That's fair. That's fair. I suppose I should have denied the opponent access to knowing how I boarded. That's more relevant here. Okie dokie. Well, we're gonna go to my turn, and we're gonna declare attacks with our threats. And then I'm gonna run and use the restroom. Okay. Changes include nothing. Now we hope that the game is kind and gives us an untapped red source on turn 1, plus a Spikefield Hazard, and then Disdainful Stroke. And lands. This hand isn't super good. Fading Hope is a lot worse than Spikefield Hazard in this particular spot, but it's better than mulliganing. Alright, Infernal Grasp is a good card, at least. Plays slightly better around if the opponent plays a artifact ramp spell on 2. Opponent plays no ramp on 2! Oh, Dragons is such a bad deck. Alright, and we drew a Disdainful Stroke. Life is good. Nothing on 3? Wait. Okay, so drawing Spikefield Hazard, does that mean that I can just jam Celestus? No, I think I can jam Celestus next turn. Because then I still have access to Disdainful Stroke. I don't think I can jam Celestus if it gives the opponent an opportunity to resolve Townraiser Tyrant. What's the actual record? We went 2-1 in the first attempt, and this is the second attempt, where I believe we are 0-0. Lier is cool. I'm in a pretty fair whack of trouble if my opponent counters this Celestus, but I just don't think they're likely to have a counter spell or a removal spell for it. They showed us Test of Talents instead of a negate last game. Moonveil Regent. Sure. That is worth allowing to resolve and then use Infernal Grasp on, to me. I'm probably going to wind up playing Spikefield Hazard as a land. And I have Fading Hope if my opponent plays some scary, uncounterable dragon. Oh, real tempting to keep the land. I guess I just get rid of Galvanic Iteration then? I mean, if they don't do anything... No, I guess I discard the land. Because if they don't do anything, I'm kind of tempted to try to do some Unexpected Windfall Galvanic Iteration thing next turn. If they just play Inferno, I can play Unexpected Windfall, discarding Galvanic, and then Fading Hope the Inferno. And then play Lier. That's probably the most tempting option I've got. And we drew Divide by 0. That's absolutely stellar. Alright, it turns out Dragons is not a good deck if it doesn't have a ramp spell on turn 2. Who could have ever predicted such a thing? Would I rather play Lier or Galvanic Windfall? I would probably rather play Galvanic Windfall, and I'd probably rather do that now. What am I discarding here? I guess it's Disdainful Stroke, which is a shame. More Divide by 0s, sure. Okay. Mono lands is sort of a concern. Luckily, Celestus has our back. Well, if the opponent just plays their big dragon, we're fine. If they don't, they play a tiny dragon, we're sad. Alrighty, opponent. So, presuming... Ooh, wow, Infernal Grasp was a good draw. What does the opponent do that matters here? Oh no, all my cards are good. What do I discard? I guess I'll discard the land. We'll probably find more. You want to play your 6-drop dragon, opponent? It'd make my life real easy if you tapped out below Test of Talents. Oh wait, do they not even have... No, they do have Test of Talents. Okay. Alrighty, discover the formula. Okie dokie. Then we are going to allow the Inferno to resolve, and we are going to kill it for 1 mana. And then I could spend a mana to divide by 0 the Moonveil Regent, but honestly, I'd rather pay 4 life than lose a treasure. So, yeah, this is good. Okie dokie. Galvanic Iteration. Galvanic Iteration. A-Alrund's Epiphany? That seems like that probably wins the game. Take some extra turns. Take some extra turns. Take some extra turns. Have I played a land drop yet? No. We get to make a land drop. Excellent. Could play Lier here. Don't want to use treasures. That sounds bad. Loot with Celestus. Put Spikefield Hazard in the graveyard. Why not? Draw Lier. Sounds fun. Cast Discover the Formula. Discount the cards in my hand to not costing any mana. Do I kill Moonveil Regent? Probably not. Play a Lier. Options, options, options. No need to do anything now. Draw a land. Play a land. Let's see. Let's... Options, options, options. Having 6 divide by 0s up seems pretty good. I think we're happy here. Opponent does 0 damage to Lier. Understandable. Alright, I think we're good to pass then. Oh, no, that was our turn. Whoops. Right, I forgot how many extra turns I was taking. Okay, now we're good to pass. Look at me, just throwing away the opportunity to cast 2 Discover the Formulas. What a shame. Oh, the opponent is not. The opponent's win condition is currently 0. I literally threw away a turn, and I'm still at 100% chance to win this game. It's actually kind of important that I fizzle this Test of Talents, even though it doesn't do anything, because I don't want it to exile all of these divide by 0s. Yeah, we'll get to Sciences, why not? Okay. And then we make this Mascot Exhibition cheaper. And sure. Okay. My turn, take action, decline. I got too many cards in hand, I don't know what I'm doing anyway. Alright. Swing with Lier. Play Mascot Exhibition. Don't play a second Mascot Exhibition. Make a land drop. Behold the Multiverse. I don't even know how many cards I have to discard now. 2? Okay. Environmental Sciences, and I guess a Fading Hope. 21 cards left in deck? Plenty. Moonveil Regent, that's fine. Don't care about that. I would like to divide by 0, Divine Purge. We'll decline. Yeah, what do you think, opponent? I feel like I got lethal. Oh, this Infernal Grasp costs 2 mana? Wow, the economy's taken a hit. Inflation is quite something. Yep, they hit my 2-1 for 0 damage. We're gonna go ahead and attack our opponent and probably do lethal. Yay! Don't like key control. I don't like key quite as much as other 4-drop options. Whoa, okay. I'll take Visionary as a card, sure. I'm gonna hope they play a second Voltaic Visionary, so I just get to Meathook Massacre? It's not a second Voltaic Visionary. Alright, currently I am definitely suffering from being on the draw. Not having been able to interact with that Reckless Stormseeker is quite a problem. Also, remembering to divide by 0 before it turns into night is a big deal. Oh, I am just dead to another Storm Charge Slasher. Yeah, I don't really have outs here. Meathook Massacre is like supposed to be good against aggro, but I have totally failed the being on the draw ability to curve out challenge. I don't even think... Yeah, I can't even draw into like Unexpected Windfall to ramp up the Meathook Massacre fast enough to do anything here. Yeah, okay. Well, that is all expensive combo cards and no lands. Whoops. Okay, so Parasitic Grasp, Infernal Grasp, Meathook Massacre. And we trim Epiphany, and we probably trim Horror. And we trim Galvanic. Oh, socks, there's too much fluff. And we can probably cut the other A-Alrund's Epiphany too. Just out card advantage them. That feels right. Okay. Wish I had more Sorins, but what you gonna do? Last run went 2-1. And then we lost to... What did we lose to? I don't recall. Clerics, that was it. Yeah, we had some really cool close games against Clerics. In the grand scope of things, there's no such thing as too much fluff. But there is too much fluff in specific spots, like my nose and eyes. Those are not the best spots for fluff. Oh, yes. Now, not having the ability to play a card on turn 2 is sad, but I guess I should probably hold up Jwari Disruption on turn 2 if we hit an untapped land. But Parasitic Grasp is still a heck of a card. Okay, opponent doesn't want to play anything. That's fine by me. I think that... Yes, I was going to say, if they play Electrostatic Blast, I am willing to Jwari Disruption that. I'm not interested in letting my opponent get card advantage, although I guess that's not like the most card advantage. But it is... Oh, that's more card advantage, huh? Yeah, that's a problem. Fair enough. I have been thoroughly embarrassed. Should have let them resolve the Electrostatic Blast, I guess. Chandra wasn't on my radar as a card I was supposed to be playing around, but it absolutely is a card that I'm supposed to be playing around. I actually probably lose to that, because I don't think I can stop it from ultimating. I think I need to take the hit from the Reckless Stormseeker here. How do we answer this Chandra? I think I have to bottom both of these looking for an answer to Chandra. Lier is... Okay, cool. Lier is definitely unanswer. Sorin is also unanswer. It's figuring out... Oh, I can also divide by 0, I suppose. If I had an untapped land here, I could Sorin plus hold up Fading Hope, but I don't think I can do that. So we stop it from turning into night, we kill the Reckless Stormseeker, and then we're gonna have to answer this Chandra. That could be difficult. Could definitely be difficult. I get one more turn to do that. Or draw a Spikefield Hazard, I guess, to buy a turn. Decline. I think I'm supposed to play Sorin and down tick. Still no way around the fact that I am in trouble if they have removal spells for that 2/3, and if I don't draw a way to interact with the Chandra. Do I think best of 3 or best of 1 is easier? I think by like every metric, best of 1 is easier at any given win rate. But I do think best of 3 is slightly better practice for day 2. Alright, upticked on Sorin, so I can't play another Vampire. And the opponent played a Town Raiser Tyrant. Okay, this I can handle. Because I can actually... I'm taking a ton of damage, which isn't great. But I do get to Lier and bounce the Town Raiser Tyrant now. Sorin, if you would love to hit a land... I really can't afford to pay 3 life for that. Alright, decline. Really need you to hit a land, Sorin. Alright, get to Fading Hook the Town Raiser Tyrant. And our 2/3 stops the Chandra from ultimating temporarily. Okay, we have a plan. Opponent about to turn all of our cards into shock lands every single turn of the game, no less. I still actually don't have any answer whatsoever to Town Raiser Tyrant. I can't even, like, double Parasitic Grasp it, because you can't flashback Parasitic Grasp targeting non-humans. Why not grasp that in attack? Because then they just block it, and Chandra is at ultimate range. I have to deal damage to Chandra. And I know I'm drawing Celestus. It's thankfully not every black land. Okay, wait. I actually do have an answer to this. I just forgot how my cards work. Because they are good cards, actually. I just Galvanic Iteration Parasitic Grasp the Town Raiser Tyrant. And that does actually work. And then we sacrifice 2 of our lands. No, probably not 2. Probably just 1. I'm kind of tempted up 6 Horn because I do really need life. It's probably a good idea. Or I do really need, not life, the opposite of life. I need lands. Much more important than life. Okay, and now we get close to killing Chandra. And now I have slightly pulled myself out of the awkward situation I was in earlier. Want to do that last turn? That was the play last turn? Instead of playing Lier? That probably was the play last turn, you're right. The answer to why not do that last turn is going to be because I forgot that I was allowed to. Okay. My Lier is thoroughly abraded. I'm going to be really sad that I wasn't able to leave up black mana to Parasitic Grasp my Lier in response here. Okay. Bummer. Good news. Decline. Decline. Good news is that Chandra is dead, and we are gaining a bunch of life. And I would rather have... Yeah, I'd rather have more 2/3 lifelinkers than more Sorin. Land drop means we get to Galvanic into Windfall. I think I should have done that at sorcery speed again because day-night is a thing that I forget exists. Alright, infinity mana, mini cards, sacrifice lots of lands, have a Lier, life good. If opponent wants to just keep Townraiser Tyranting my lands, then I say that I let them. Go to my turn. I'm gonna probably pay all of this land life. Yeah, probably pay all this land life. Let's go with Galvanic, Windfall, discard Divide by 0, Fading Hope the Townraiser Tyrant. Ooh, Infernal Grasp the Townraiser Tyrant. That's even better. Probably. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Nah, let's Fading Hope it. I can just start sacking lands now. I think I got enough mana. I guess I could also just play Lier and have Divide by 0 up. Makes me sad, but probably correct. The cat's name is Socks, short for Socrates. Also very fitting because he has little white spots on his feet. That makes it clever. Alright, any changes? Well, changes to how I play, yes, because Chandra is still a huge problem I don't have good answers to. And now I'm on the draw. So it's even harder to answer. I don't think Malevolent Hermit's a good enough card to bring in against that. Oh, that's just an absolutely garbage opening hand. This is at least slightly better, I guess. What are we getting rid of here? It's probably Spikefield Hazard. It's probably Basic Swamp. I don't like it. I would like this hand if it had 7 cards in it. Okay, Jwari Disruption is a very good draw. Happy, happy, happy. 3 drops are scary. Oh, come on. Oh, Rahilda, Rahilda, Rahilda. How do you punish me so? Alright, well, no answer to Chandra once again, because I can't afford to let it flip to night here. Okay. Life is tough. No point holding up Jwari Disruption. Our opponent's going to be able to play around it with a Chandra anyway. Has to flip tonight. Rahilda is such a good card. If it was any other 2-drop, I could have ignored that and held up the Jwari Disruption for Chandra. Okay, apparently my opponent boards into 5-mana Planeswalkers that punish me for playing the Jwari Ruins. Okay, I don't think I can win now. That's a bummer. My removal is not well prepared to deal with Planeswalkers. Which is a shame, because I feel like Esper is a matchup that would just roll over this, in all likelihood. Everything they have dies to Vanishing Verse extremely easily. I'm jealous. And my Spikefield Hazard has no target. Alright, sorcery speed, Behold the Multiverse it is then. I do need that Lier quite badly. Chandra is getting close to ultimate range. Tybalt just gets to make a bunch of devils. I can't really see a way that I could win this. I guess, did I keep Hullbreaker Horrors in? Hullbreaker Horror might be a way to win this, I guess. I should have kept them in after needing more answers to Chandra. Yeah, definitely feel like I misboarded. One target player or planeswalker. 3 damage. Alright, so if I were to play Lier, which I think I have to do because I have to pressure the Chandra. I guess I could Spikefield Hazard the Voltaic Visionary, Behold the Multiverse? No. I think I'm on Unexpected Windfall, discarding Behold the Multiverse, which isn't exciting. I don't know. Maybe I need Lier in play? I probably need Lier in play, which makes it pretty easy for them to kill the Lier. Huh. Did not know enough about this deck to respect the Planeswalker package. Where does that leave me? Where does that leave me? Where does that leave me? Because they can do 3 damage to Lier with the Pitch Burn Devils. So any block or burn spell kills the Lier. And as much as I want Lier to be able to attack... No, I think I need Windfall. And I don't really have card advantage, but... Alright, land drops help. Divide by 0 helps a lot. Okay, that's something at least. Hellrider. Okay, the problems continue. That probably gets Fading Hoped. I think we'll take Visionary at this point. Probably has to get Spikefield Hazard in. And then I Lier Spikefield Hazard Sean. Oh, come on. Ah, Bonin, I need you to stop having cards. They're irrelevant. Okay, Sorin is sort of something, other than Hellrider making that really bad. I can divide by 0 the Chandra and then play Sorin and down ticket. Where does that leave me? Pretty much nowhere. Huh. I actually got to the point where I could have stabilized this game against the Chandra. But not the Tybalt, huh? What happens if I let Chandra ultimate? I just die, right? Yeah, I just die. Okie dokie. Well, I have literally no other playable options. So... Sorin into Divide by 0, Chandra it is. And then we grab Mascot Exhibition and hope we hit an untapped land and that somehow Mascot Exhibition gets us out of this, but I'm not seeing it. As far as the other cards Tybalt can hit, Tybalt's Rager is really good for a red deck that has a bunch of extra mana. Pitchburn Devils isn't exactly good, but it is been pretty relevant here because Tybalt can deal 3 damage to Pitchburn Devils, choose to actually successfully deal 3 damage to it, and it turns into an actual removal spell, whereas normally the 3 damage that Tybalt deals, I can just choose to lose 3 life instead of letting my creature take damage. This red deck is Jerry T's favorite alchemy list. I don't think this red deck can actually be in a good position in the format, because it feels like it would just be awful against stock Esper control. Esper is all answers to planeswalkers and red creatures that's really effective, and then lots of life gain removal spells that are really effective. So that kind of... I guess maybe the best of 1 meta is different? Alright, where does this put me? Not in a good spot. I have to chump block with my 2/3. Oh, okay, cool. That probably kills me. Yep, that just straight up kills me. Well. Okay. Actually, what if I block here? Still dead? Still dead. Yep, still very dead.